Welcome back to Wines du Jour. We're here at Marbella Tapas and Bar, and we're having some fun. We're now tasting our very first wine. Before we talk too much about it, I'd like to reintroduce my friend, the man who has put all of the juice in these bottles that we're pouring tonight. And I have to tell you, you're going to love. His first one was a white wine. He went and he found some people that grow grapes that he knows for a long time and took these beautiful Sauvignon Blanc grapes over and made some Sauvignon Blanc wine. Steve Felton, thank you very much for coming all the way from Paso Robles to come over here to talk with us this evening and share some of your wine.
That's my pleasure, Les. Thanks for having me.
You bet. Let's talk a little bit about your Sauvignon Blanc. This is, I have to tell you, is killer. All right, tell us a little bit about Sauvignon Blanc.
Okay, well, I fell in love with this particular vineyard when I tasted the Sauvignon Blanc from a producer that I had been buying Pinot Grigio from for a winery that I worked at. But I was in his winery, kind of tasting through his inventory, and I just it impressed me as being so much like a New Zealand Sauvignon Blanc. You know, it has the big citrusy nose, just a little bit of grass. And
grapefruity, yeah.
Lime, kiwi even.
Right, yeah. Yes, that's right.
And so I just said, oh, is there any possibility I could get some of this fruit? And they said, yeah, they could spare some. I only made 200 cases of this. But I really wanted to have a white wine and a red wine. And a little background on Felton Cellars. Our motto is smooth matters.
There you go. Wine is food and smooth matters. That's a good combination, actually.
And, you know, Les has been generous enough to have me on the show for the last couple of different wineries that I worked at. And if you ask Les and his fans, one thing when you get, you know, wherever I worked, I always put a lot of emphasis on the structure and the finish of the wine as much as the fruit. And that's always been important to me because wine is food.
There you go. See? Falls right in line. Isn't that amazing? In addition to a Greek salad, what would you consider having with a Sauvignon Blanc wine, food-wise? Now, I know Stephen says one of his favorite things are oysters and crab. I know that. And Stephen is a fish and seafood connoisseur. That's all he eats as far as meat, is fish and seafood. Just so you know, not that there's anything wrong with it, but that gives him a palate that is making things like this Sauvignon Blanc really, really good because he can tell the difference. Others may not. But what are some of the other things that you might have? What about an artichoke dip? You know, we're getting for holidays right now. Artichoke dip and Sauvignon Blanc, believe it or not, go pretty well together with veggies and so on, you know, that type of a thing. Italian seasoning on salad goes pretty well with Sauvignon Blanc. Creamy sauces, that would be maybe a white sauce from Italy, as an example, with your pasta, or pasta as we call it in America. They call it pasta in Italy, they call it pasta in America, so, you know, it's both the very same thing, just the pronunciation. For spicy food, Sauvignon Blanc hangs in there pretty good. We love Gewürztraminer, and I happen to know that Stephen is in the process of putting some Gewürztraminer on the market, and I have to tell you, if you like anything spicy, Mexican food, Chinese food, Thai food,
or even sushi.
Or even sushi, yeah, there you go. Gewürztraminer is a really good varietal, and a lot of people have never heard of that varietal, but it's pronounced Gewürztraminer. It's a German wine, and you can buy it, of course, in Germany, but it's a spicy one. It's the most spicy wine that I know of. How about you?
Yeah, it has
naturally spicy.
You know, if there's any chemists out there, it has a lot of natural terpenes, which, you know, roughly is like a, you know, very aromatic orange peel. And as it ages, you know, year after year, that just keeps being produced by the wine and gaining in intensity.
In addition to the fish and the seafood and things that we've talked about, a little bit of salad and so on with Sauvignon Blanc, another one that it goes really well with is chicken. Here in our town, there's only a couple places that really have good quality chicken, in my opinion. And I also recommend that you buy chicken whole as opposed to cut up. If you don't know how to cut it up, take one of my classes, you'll learn in a heartbeat. There's nothing to it. But the price is way different. It's like most people, when they think of chicken, they think of boneless, skinless chicken breast. Folks, that's the least tasty part of the entire chicken, is the chicken breast. It's boring. It has very little nutrition. It's lost its nutrition in the breast. I'm not kidding you when I say that. So if you want flavor with chicken, try the thigh as an example. And if you can find a recipe with chicken thighs, buy chicken thighs, try it, and be amazed that, boy, there's a lot more flavor in that. And if you're not sure, send me an email. I'll be happy to send you a few recipes using chicken thighs or chicken legs, that type of thing, and maybe change some of the things that you're doing. And not that we're doing it for that reason, save you a lot of money at the same time, because thighs are not anywhere as close to as expensive as boneless, skinless chicken breast. Okay, but don't forget the Sauvignon Blanc, and preferably, this is a 2011, that's when the grapes were grown, this last year, and I have to tell you, it's just beautiful. We've got to go to a break. When we come back, we'll talk a little bit more maybe about wine number 2, which is one of my favorite red wines. So don't go anywhere. We'll be back coast to coast and around the world on the internet when we return, right here.
Upgrade to DirecTV today and get the best offer ever. Get over 150 of your favorite channels. And this season of NFL Sunday Ticket is included at no extra charge. You'll get 3 free months of HBO, Star, Showtime, and Cinemax. 4 free equipment upgrades to an HD DVR and up to 3 HD receivers. And HD is included. Plus, lock in not 1, but 2 years of savings. This offer won't last long. Upgrade today and get the best offer ever with DirecTV.